So this is a cowpea field, as you can see here, and this is a climate resilient cowpea variety that we have developed, and we are currently promoting it among smallholder farmers and then also commercial farmers for production, especially in the various ecological fragile areas in the transition zone, the Guinea savanna and the Sudan savanna, where the environmental conditions are very harsh due to climate change. So most of this variety that we have developed is also a dual purpose variety, in the sense that it produces a lot of pulse, and then you get a lot of seeds, and then it also produces a lot of fodder that you can use to feed livestock. And also when it is returned to the soil, it builds organic carbon, which is very important in climate change adaptation. So this is a very important crop that we have developed, and as we all know, cowpea too is very good for household food nutrition, and it is also a gender-friendly crop. So we promote it also among women farmers for women inclusion in agriculture. And then most of the varieties are also biofortified and therefore have a lot of nutrients. If fed to children, improves their nutritional status. So if you open it this way, you open the cowpea pod, you will find the seeds inside, and it's so important, this seed, because one, it is a very smart seed, a climate smart seed, because it is very tolerant to many diseases or climate-induced pests of cowpea. It is also dual purpose. It produces a lot of seeds or pulse, and then also gives you a lot of fodder that you can use to feed your livestock. So it improves diversification of the farming system. So you can keep livestock and then also grow your crops. And then the farmer's security is improved. It gives insurance of total crop failure, and as livestock also provide backstop for the farmer.
So do you have any country at all in either Africa or the Asia or even the Western world coming here to learn something from you?
Yeah, so we do a lot of South-South collaboration. So because this is a research center, as I speak, we have a lot of international students around coming from. Then this is also a regional center of excellence. What it means is that in West Africa here, it is a center of excellence. So we have colleagues, scientists, students, postgraduate students, PhD, and then policymakers come here to learn about our technologies. And then, so we do a lot of knowledge exchange programs, both for West and then beyond.
So, come closer, and then I want him to capture.
That's Stephen Yabua. I'm a senior research scientist at CSR Crop Research Institute based in Fumasua, Kumasi here. And as a research institute, our mandate is to conduct research mainly into food crops and three crops like cashew and then coconut. But in terms of food crops, all our cereals, maize and rice, our legumes, cowpea, soya bean, and then all other root and tuber crops. It's our mandate to conduct research to generate technologies that will improve productivity and therefore improve the livelihood of our farmers. So what we are seeing here today, as we've talked about, climate change is now obvious and the impact is glaring. And it is now at a position that is affecting the livelihood of our farmers. And because in Ghana, our farming system is basically smallholder. So we have about 2/3 of our population which depends on small-scale farming, and then which is also under rain-fed conditions. What it means is that little bit of our land area is under irrigation. So all what we produce is under rain-fed. So we're waiting for when the next rain will come before productivity can be achieved. If we live under that kind of environment, then climate shocks and then climate risk becomes very, very severe. It reduces the resilience of our farmers, and then it makes them more vulnerable to all the shocks associated with climate change. So one of the things we are doing here as an intervention to increase the resilience of our farmers is to develop drought-tolerant crop varieties. Drought-tolerant crop varieties. These are varieties that can withstand some amount of drought, or with little showers of rain can also do well. Most of them are early maturing, means that they mature early, so they are able to escape possible drought. So the field here, you see, you feel some watering happening here. And these are drought-tolerant maize varieties. So you will see the crops are formed, but you have a sense of some wilting occurring. Means that there is some amount of drought, but the farmer is still getting some crops. So these are drought-tolerant maize variety that we have developed, and then are putting them into demonstrations and bringing a lot of farmers to come and learn on this platform how best to produce this kind of crop varieties. So as you can see, they have some appreciable crops that the farmer can at the end of the day harvest for household to achieve some level of household food security, and also sell for income. So you will see on this field, this is a lane. You have the crops which have been formed. So although we have minimum amount of rainfall,
with the phone.
we have minimum amount of rainfall here, but we still have some amount of crops or some level of crops that has been formed to make sure that the farmer is able to harvest something. So the story is that, yes, the drought may occur, the season may not be favorable to the farmer, there can be intermittent dry spells, and all those things can occur. But in the midst of these challenges that the farmer has no control, he should get some smart seeds that will enable him or her to harvest some produce to the house. And that is basically the purpose of some of the things we do here, where we talk about developing smart, climate smart seeds for farmers, like a seed that is drought tolerant. You will see there is some amount of drought. Yes, that is very obvious. There is some amount of drought this year, and but still the maize plant has been able to produce some crops that will enable the farmer to overcome at least household food security issues. And this is very important because otherwise there will be total crop failure. Then total crop failure also means that the farmer is going to go hungry, or there is going to be hunger. And you understand that if you are not at least food self-sufficient, then you are very vulnerable to many things in this world. So this is to increase make the farmer self-reliable, self-sufficient in terms of at least some basic staples the farmer will need to live on.
Looking at the statements by the World Bank, do you think this intervention is enough to make sure that we don't find ourselves into that problem by 2050?
Yeah, so all the data have shown that if you don't do a lot of adaptation, mitigation measures, we don't increase climate financing, there is going to be hunger. There is going to be starvation, which is also going to increase poverty levels in our parts of especially in sub-Saharan Africa, where many of our farmers are vulnerable because we have little irrigation facilities and other interventions. So these are some of the measures that can help reduce the effect of what we are talking about, because at the end of the day, it is about what the smallholder farmer is able to produce. And then if you come to Africa, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, most of our farms are small holding. The person only owns 2 acres to between 2 to 5 acres of land. So if you are able to make this person resilient by giving them smart seed, it means that you have given them some level of assurance that at the end of the day, their investment, they can recoup something which will generate some income and then improve their livelihood. So yes, many things, we're required to do many things to increase our resilience. And of course, this is one of the critical interventions we can do to develop drought-tolerant varieties, crop varieties, not only maize. Maize also very important because maize is a food security crop in Ghana, one of the main staples that the people depend on for household food security and for income. So if you are able to even make maize production resilient enough, then you are improving a lot of livelihoods and then in many homes. Apart from that, we have other interventions we know at state level in terms of infrastructure. We talk about the fact that Ghana is an agrarian economy, but most of our lands lie idle about 6 to 7 months in a year. That is, we only grow crops during the rainy season. So beside the rainy season, we have all our lands lying idle. So what can we do to make sure that we put all these lands under productivity throughout the year? One thing we can do is to do irrigation. And that is an infrastructure-based project that is supposed to be taken up by central government and by multi-donor agencies. So when we're able to do a lot of these irrigation facilities, and then we put our land that is idling into production, then we are increasing our food security. And these are the things we need to do to curb all the consequences we are projecting about climate change happening, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, in some of the poor Asian countries.
So this